Hey guys, Equinox, and they finally released the Master of Harmony tree, and they released a Monk General tree rework, so we're going to go ahead and go over both of those. We'll start with Master of Harmony. So first node, Aspect of Harmony, store Vitality from 20% of your damage dealt and 10% of your healing. For 10 seconds after casting Celestial Brew, your spells and abilities draw upon the stored Vitality to deal 25% additional damage over 8 seconds. This basically makes Celestial Brew like a little mini damage cooldown, and kind of rewards you for doing your healing and damage abilities correctly. So, like in higher keys, the more healing you do, the more damage you do, the better this becomes. All right, next row. Chi Burst Chi Wave deal 100% increased damage and healing. This is really good. The alpha patch they released yesterday, they also announced a 160% damage boost to Chi Burst. So this on top of this buff, 260% increased damage from what it is on live, actually might be a pretty good button now. And then the other, here's a choice node. When Aspect of Harmony ends, any remaining vitality is released as damage over 8 seconds split among nearby targets. And then during Aspect of Harmony, expel harm and vivify, withdraw vitality to heal. So you can either choose between more healing or more damage. Probably going to go the more damage route, but we'll see. Maybe the extra healing is pretty good. And then here, Balanced Stratagem. Casting a physical spell or ability increases the damage and healing of your next fire or nature spell or ability by 5%, and vice versa, stacks up to 5. So basically this means Blackout Kick, RJW, Keg Smash, Spinning Crane Kick, increase the damage of Breath of Fire, Exploding Keg, stuff like that. So this is actually kind of nice. This basically gives a little small synergy between all your abilities and kind of rewards you, and you can maybe build up like a big empowered Breath of Fire with Blackout combo. So pretty cool. I actually really like this ability. And then let's go to the next row. Tiger's Vigor. This is just a utility node. Basically, it's casting Tiger's Lust to reduce the remaining cooldown and roll by 5 seconds. Tiger's Lust grants 20% speed up to 2 allies near its target. So I'm going to assume this blasts the duration of Tiger's Lust. So it's, a little mini speed boost. I imagine you'll probably use the first node and then the second node in certain situations. Endless Drought. Now this is pretty cool. Celestial Brew has one additional charge. This tied with Aspect of Harmony means you get a lot more damage and you get an extra charge of Celestial Brew. Now I assume Blackhawk's Brew will refresh both. This gives us a lot of extra survivability. Like 2 Celestial Brew charges is absolutely massive. This is going to help our survivability so much, especially if we're just like chaining Purifies. This allows us to use Blackout combo Celestial Brew even more. This makes it a lot more viable to use it on Celestial Brew, so I'm pretty excited about that. I really like this node. This one's a really interesting node. So Mantra Purity Purify Brew removes 10% additional stagger. This is just like our 4-set bonus from Season 1. So basically just much higher Purifying Brew, and causes you to absorb up to attack power versus incoming stagger. So this basically gives us a stagger shield, kind of like our Season 3 set bonus. So it's kind of like our Season 1 and Season 3 set bonus in some ways combined. So I actually kind of like this. It makes Purify a lot more important. It gives us a lot more, it gives us like less stagger income basically. So I think that's pretty cool. And then Fortifying Brew applies a Chi Cocoon. This basically is like the Conduit in Shadowlands. It gives you a shield every time you press forward brew. Probably won't take this. It's okay. The Mantra Purity seems much better for us. So yeah, I would probably take Mantra Purity. Unless Fort Brew is like a 2-minute, 1-minute cooldown, I wouldn't bother with that. Next node, we go to Overwhelming Force. This one is really cool. I'm pretty excited to see how this works out. Rising Sun Kick, Blackout Kick, and Tiger Palm damage enemies in a line through their primary target. Now, we don't know how big the line is, how thick it is, how long it goes, so it could be good, it could be bad, but this seems really cool, and I can't wait to try this. So I'm pretty hopeful for that one. And then here, Path of Resurgence, this is just like a vitality building node. Chi Burst increases vitality stored by 25% for 10 seconds. Rising Sun Kick, Black Kick, and Tiger Palm contribute 50% additional vitality. The Way of 1,000 Strikes is probably a little bit better overall, but Path of Resurgence is also pretty good because I think you're going to be using Chi Burst on cooldown. I'm pretty excited to see the buff Chi Burst, so hopefully this is good and like gives us like another nice button to use. And then Clarity of Purpose, this ties with the Mantra Purity. Casting Purifying Brew restores X amount of vitality, increased based on stagger level. So it's kind of like Dragonfire Brew, but for Purifying Brew. This basically just increases the effectiveness by however much stagger you have. So again, pretty cool. Just more ways to build vitality, which makes this even stronger. And then we go to Resonance. This is the capstone. When Aspect of Harmony deals damage, there's a chance to spread to a nearby enemy. When you directly attack an affected target, it has a chance to intensify. Basically, just, you know, increases damage. Targets damaged or healed by your Aspect of Harmony take 10% increased damage or healing from you. This is literally just a 10% damage buff during whenever you use this. So basically whenever you Celestial Brew, you're going to be doing 10% more damage plus the 25% dot that you put on your targets. So this is overall pretty strong node or talent tree. I'm pretty excited to try this out. I like this more than Shadowpan. It has a lot more flavor and synergy with your kit. The Shadowpan node was just raw damage, basically. Just fully raw damage and a little tiny bit of defense. So overall, pretty excited to try this. Hoping that we actually get to have a choice. Like we can go between Shadowpan, Master of Harmony. And yeah, pretty excited to try this out. Let's talk about the Monk General Tree rework. So the biggest rework they did, as you guys can see, all of this is brand new. Way more nodes. We have so many nodes now. And it's a lot to take in, so let's go over the big important things first. First, they made Dampen Harm baseline for Monk. This isn't actually like a choice node anymore. This is just Dance baseline for Brew, so this is a little bit inaccurate from Wowhead. But yeah, Dampen Harm is baseline for Brew now, so we get that automatically. We get Dance of the Wind now, so that's just a straight defensive upgrade for us. Really nice. We get an active defense, and we get the passive. Defuse and Eulons are still a choice node, so we have to worry about that. Fort Brew got a brand new talent. So Iron Shell Brew got changed. Increases your maximum health by an additional 10%. Your damage taken reduced by an additional 10% while Fortifying Brew is active. That makes it a 30% HP increase and then a 30% DR. This will probably be better than lower cooldown Fort Brew because 30% HP and DR is pretty strong for an effective 3-minute cooldown or so. So I think that'll be a pretty good change. They also removed White Tiger statue. Now this is a little... I think this is better overall because playing around statue isn't great, but that's a pretty big loss for us in M+. It does get replaced by Martial Instincts and Chi Proficiency, which is 4% increased magic damage and healing, and then 4% physical damage and 4% avoidance. So it's a slight DPS loss overall, because Tiger Statue when played well is about 7% of our overall, 8 in some keys. So we'll see. Might be a loss. Might be an overall gain. I think it's a single target gain for sure because I don't think White Tiger Statue really did much on single target. So there should be a single target gain, maybe a slight AoE loss. They removed the reliance on Soothing Mist in your tree. They also made Grace of the Crane a 1-point node, and they gave us a bunch of new nodes. So Bounding Agility, Roll and Chi Torpedo travel a small distance. They gave Wind's Reach, the range of the table is increased by 5 yards. The duration of Crash Momentum is increased by 3 seconds. Crash Momentum is the choice node. It's disabled now. Targets your ultra or snare by 40% for 5 seconds. It's pretty cool. Gives Roll some utility, especially if you're playing like Windwalker or Mistweaver. You can roll through a pack and slow them. If you're kiting a pack, you could roll through it and then slow them. That's really cool. So yeah, I think it's kind of nice. Fast Feet, this used to be down here. This is now a 1-point node. Just boom, huge power off a 1-point node. Ancient Arts reduces cooldown paralysis by 8 seconds, cooldown leg sweep by 5. This is really cool. This is a 2-point node, so 15 and 10. That's a big reduction. 10 seconds off leg sweep is pretty big. So I think this will be a required node. And then your normal kick, Transcendence. This is a new like kick reward talent, Energy Transfer. Successfully interrupting an enemy reduces the cooldown of paralysis and roll by 5 seconds. So more mobility, more CC. And to go along with that, they gave us a Soothe on Enrage. So they gave us a Soothe on Paralysis. This is really cool. Monk now has a brand new utility. That's awesome for parties. That means we're really good for Raging Week. Pretty excited for that. That matched with the cooldown reduction of these two, that's going to be awesome. We're going to have such a lot of Soothe targets. Improved Touch of Death, this has just moved up. Celestial Determination, while your Celestial is active, you can obviously load by 90% normal move speed. This is basically Death's Advance. Kinda. No knockback immunity though, but it's kind of like Death's Advance or Ghost Wolf. And then here's this other one, Quick Footed, the duration of snare effects on users by 20%. These are more like PvP nodes. These are kind of nice for certain fights. I'm sure you might abuse this on certain mechanics. We'll see though. And then Ring of Peace, Song of Chi-Ji, nothing new. And here's a brand new Transcendence talent. This is kind of like Crashing Momentum, but for Transcendence. Whenever you Transcendence Transfer, it snares targets by 70% within 4 yards or within 10 yards of the cast. So pretty cool. I like that. And then Tiger Tail Sweep just moved up here again. Nothing special. We already know what that does. And then here's a brand new one. Reduces the cooldown of Ring of Peace by 5 seconds. And Song of Chi-Ji cast time reduced by 0.5 seconds. This is cool. Just makes Song of Chi-Ji more friendly. Makes Ring of Peace slightly lower cooldown. I wish this was more like 10 seconds, but, you know, cooldown's cooldown. Black Ox statue. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be baseline for us now, so I don't think it's supposed to be here. Strength of Spirit and Profound Rebuttal is now a choice node. You're pretty much always going to take Strength of Spirit, because Strength of Spirit also affects your Ox Orbs. So unless they fix that, then that'd be kind of a nerf for Brew, but overall, pretty good. You're going to be losing out a little bit, but overall Strength of Spirit, definitely better. There's also another one, Swift Art Roll removes snare effects once every 30 seconds. I don't think this removes roots. If it removes roots, this is pretty insane, but the slow removal is also kind of decent. It's basically another Tiger's Lust. Having this in Everbloom would have been insane, but we won't. This is the Mistweaver Talent Tree, Save Them All. And then, yeah, it's about all the big changes, all the brand new stuff. Oh, there's also one more Jade Walk. While at combat, your movement speed is increased by 50%. So this basically just makes walking between packs pretty good. Not super useful, but, you know, a little extra flavor. Let's get into the capstone, the bottom stuff. This is all the new juicy stuff. So we went over Cheaper Proficiency and Martial Instincts before. They made a new Transcendence Transfer talent, Healing Winds. Transcendence Transfer immediately heals you for 15% of your max HP. This, paired with Escape from Reality, is going to be pretty cool. I'm actually really excited about this. Yeah, I really like this. I think this is going to be awesome. This gives us basically a 30% on-use heal anytime we want. Plus, that can proc Celestial Fortune, so that's going to be even bigger. And we don't know if the heal scales off first, so it might be a little more than 15% max HP. So we'll see. Again, pretty excited. I think having Transcendence Transfer as a defensive button is cool. You can also take Transcendence Linked Spirits. Transcendence now tethers your spirit onto an ally for 1 hour. Use Transcendence Transfer to teleport the ally's location. This is basically Warnstone for Aug Evokers. This lets you do some really cool skips, actually. So, say you, let's use an example, Stink Breath. You can skip Stink Breath by pulling him away, Transcendence transferring to your ally, and then melding. You can do this on pretty much anything. You can pair that with Song of Chi-Ji for some cool skips. Yeah, I'm pretty big fan of that. I think you're going to find some pretty creative ways to mess with that. Flow of Chi, you gain a bonus effect based on your current HP above 90%, stacking movement speed increase, between 90 and 35, damage taken reduced by 5%, below 35, healing received increased by 10%. This is okay, pretty small bonus, nothing that'll make or break anything, it's just a nice little bonus. You'll pretty much take that for fun. Yeah, it's just a nice little bonus. This one's pretty cool. Lighter than air roll causes you to become lighter than air, allowing you to double jump and to dash forward a short distance once within 5 seconds. This basically gives you spacebar, 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 and it's like jump, jump, dash. So I think that's pretty cool. It just gives us more movement. Our kiting will be significantly better, which is awesome. You're going to be able to do like roll, jump, jump, dash, roll, jump, jump, dash, Tiger's Lust, roll again. So I think that's pretty cool. Gives us more mobility. This is going to be a very fun talent to play with, so I can't wait to try that out. Fatal Touch, now it's the same thing as Live where it's a 90% cooldown, so it's a 130 cooldown, but when you use Touch of Death, you do 5% increased damage for 30 seconds after. It basically just makes Touch of Death a better cooldown. It's not just an execute, now it's an execute plus damage buff. So that's kind of nice. The last one is Rushing Reflexes. Your heightened reflexes allow you to react swiftly to the presence of enemies, causing you to quickly lunge to the nearest enemy in front of you within 10 yards after your roll. Don't like that one personally because that's kind of dangerous. You don't know what kind of dash is going to do, and it might make you take a little too much damage as Brew. So, like, say, like in Throne, right? You roll to the side of a pack, it dashes you into the middle of it, and you die. That would suck. And then Clash. We finally get to pick Clash. It's no longer in the Brew tree. That's awesome. Cannot wait for this. That is awesome. We finally get to have a good way to take Clash. So I'm going to do like a little mock-up tree for you guys. This is basically what I was going to run. So we take Chi Burst, Transcendence Transfer, Celerity, Spirit, not Spirit Essence, Ring of Peace, Resonant. Oh yeah, Resonant Fist is also up here, and it's a 1-point node for the same damage. So that's really nice too. Diffuse, Fort Brew, Tiger Tail Sweep, Dance, Improved Touch of Death, Damn, we need a lot of nodes here, huh? Take that. Then we get down here, we do Strength of Spirit. You can take a lot of nodes here, by the way, like an actual crap ton of nodes. So we get like everything. Bounce Back's also a 1-point talent with a slightly lower threshold, so this will be better in lower keys now as well. Then we take Clash, Escape from Reality, and that. This is probably what I would do personally. You could replace this with this for more damage. Because this one's like, oh, like I said, this one really doesn't do that much. So I would probably take this just for more damage. And yeah, that'd be like the kind of the tree I ran right now. You could also get this, Vigorous Expulsion. You can maybe replace Tiger Tail Sweep with that, and that would probably be slightly better. But overall, I really like the new tree. It basically gives us a lot more utility, makes Transcendence Transfer an actual button, which is awesome. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty excited for this War Within stuff. I hope you guys are too. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care and have a good one, guys. I'll see you in the War Within Alpha.